Welcome back to the Lub Dub Podcast. I'm Ericka, joined by my husband,
McFly.
We bring you content about relationships, to parenting, and everything in between.
Now, today's video, we wanted to do something a little bit more uplifting. I'm sure maybe some of you guys have seen our John Gray videos. Maybe you've seen the Dr. Dre video. And then outside of just our own content, just a lot of things going on in the media.
So many people getting divorced or breaking
up. And, you know, Offset and Cardi B, unfortunately, are going through a divorce. Or
Tamar and David.
Right. I mean, there's so much going on. I think quarantine has done a number on some people. And maybe it's not just quarantine. Maybe it's just things that have been bubbling. But
yeah, I think it definitely shows the fractures if they're, you know.
Yeah, when you got to stick in the house with somebody that you've been hating for the last 2 years, when you can't leave that person for an extended period of time, yeah, it starts to bubble to the surface. But either way, we don't want to get into making too many negative videos because, again, there's so much just attack on Black love. And again, maybe it's quarantine based, maybe it's just something else. But either way, we wanted to bring you guys our version of Black love and go over our beginnings, how we first met, how I wowed this lady and just made her just think, oh man, what an amazing,
captured me,
amazing guy. No, it's not captured. I captivated her.
Oh.
You like that?
Whatever you.
Either way, we wanted to bring you guys our story of how we began, to maybe be inspiration, to maybe be something a little more uplifting, and to give you a distraction, if nothing else, from just the awful relationship news that seems to be coming down every single week here.
So it all started when I was working at Ann Taylor, which is now filed for bankruptcy, by the way. It's like everything. It's just rough.
Everybody.
Like 2020. It's so rough.
Throw it out.
Yeah, we met in the mall. And those are practically going out of business. I don't know what everybody's going to... Come on. How are you going to meet your future love if you can't even meet at the mall anymore?
Be uplifting. This is supposed to be uplifting. You're making it sadder. This is closing. That's closing. Everything's closed. Everyone's breaking up. Uplift the people. Come on.
I'm sorry. But we met when I was on my lunch break. I was working in the mall as pretty much a part-time gig so I could pay for stuff in college. Because, you know, we be broke in college.
If you've gone to college, it is perpetual brokenness. Just, even with a job, I was always broke. Just what it is. But anyways.
Yes. So I was getting my lunch. And this guy walks up, and you know, like all malls have like that one like Japanese place. It was that
Japanese teriyaki. Different names across the country, but
yep, they're all the same stuff.
Same exact stuff.
So I like, hey, I got a discount. So I'm like, hey, I'm an employee in the mall. You used to be able to get a discount. So I said that. I'm like, hey, I work at Ann Taylor. Let me get my discount. And so he's like, oh, so you work in the mall? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Okay, keep turning around, not paying attention. Like
she's actually forgotten one thing. So we did meet at the mall. I was actually coming from work as well. Well, she was going back to her shift. I was just getting off. I didn't work in the mall. Worked at a dealership actually. So I was dressed nice, but the first thing I asked her was not,
no, you said that first and then you said how old are you?
No, I did not. The first question I asked, and I remember this because it was the worst opening line I have ever uttered in my existence. I used to be hello game back in the day.
I shouldn't have answered. That's right.
But
you know what it is? I'm a nice person.
She is a nice person.
And I tried not to.
You know what? No. We're going to hold off on that. She's kind of a nice person because I had to work. Either way, what happened was I saw her. And again, from my perspective, she works at Ann Taylor, which made sense because she kind of looked like she was well dressed. You ever been to Ann Taylor? A lot of like business casual stuff, older, more conservative clothing. And so when I saw her, I was like, she's dressed older, but I can't tell because, even now she's very young in the face. She's very young. And I just thought, oh, of course. And I just thought, you know what? Nah, man, she could be, 17 or something. I'm gonna have some, mad mother dart out of the food court and say, "You talking to my daughter? She's 17." So I was a little scared.
My mother has done that before, though.
So, and I wasn't surprised. So I was like, So my first line was just, you know what? If I'm gonna crash and burn, I'm gonna just crash and burn royally. So I asked her, "Hey, how old are you?" And then she was like, "Oh, 19. I was like, oh. I had like a sigh of relief. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Sigh of relief? I was still younger than you.
Legal. Which is what I was worried about. Like, I didn't want to talk to a 17-year-old. You being younger than me, I mean, that's fine. I mean, I was 23 at the time. So I wasn't, oh my gosh, you're way too young. Still was young. And we'll get to that later. But I was like, at least you're legal. We're not like talking about like underage. That was like I was terrified of. But I digress. First question I asked was, how old were you? She said 19. Then I heard.
Don't know why I even like volunteered the information.
It was weird that she answered. I almost thought she'd look at me and be like, why?
I know, that's what I should have did.
No, obviously.
Hindsight.
Obviously, it's what she should not have done. God knew. He knew, and that's why we are where we are. But either way, that was my first question. Then my second question was actually, we work at Ann Taylor, because now I'm working my normal line of questioning. I'm like, okay, we know we're okay now to proceed. Got the discount, works at Ann Taylor, cool. All right. So yeah, that's the order in which that first interaction began. And again, I was not off to a hot start at all. At all.
So at the moment, I was really like, I didn't really want to mess with anybody because I was just like, previous things had just happened. I was like, dude, I'm tired of people. And he was technically a local because I went away for school. So in my mind, if you're in the mall, I don't think a lot of people worked at the mall from my school, but I was like, I'm not messing with no local person. Like,
she assumed I was local. Although you made it seem like you weren't quite sure when we began talking.
Yeah, because you didn't have a local accent. Yeah. So that threw me off.
Be well traveled. It helps.
So it threw me off. But I was still on that. Nah, I'm good. I don't really know. I'm done.
So while she was done because of her previous relationship, I was actually on fire because of her previous relationship. So I had just broken up with my ex maybe a couple months before that. And it took me a while. I came back home. I was actually in school too, in grad school at this point. And I had a lull the first month or two, and then I was on fire. Fellas, when you get that you just start hitting everything. I don't mean just getting at things. I mean just everyone you talk to is like, oh, key in your face. And you just feel like, man, my game's on fire right now. I was on that kind of streak. And I was like, that's why I asked that stupid question. I was like, I feel good about this. I'm going to pull something anyway. That's what I thought was. No, it wasn't just simple. Hey, quick, let me get your number. I have never been denied 3 times for a number.
My number said nope.
So I asked.
And then girls, like the polite no that you do because you don't want to cause any issues because you know how guys are sometimes. They'll be like, decide they want to call you out your name if you deny them.
Yeah, and fellas, that's so corny. Don't be that dude.
Dude, I've had glass bottles thrown near me because I didn't want to talk to somebody.
Like we as a people, especially my brothers, man, don't be that guy. If she says no, your game was weak. just keep it a buck. She said
she just wasn't interested. Maybe she had a boyfriend.
Nah, your game weak. Your game weak. Step up. But don't do that though. Don't do that. That's always corny.
Whatever. You always have a choice.
Yeah.
But yes, I did the polite no.
See, again, this is what I'm talking about. The nice thing. She didn't do that, ladies and gentlemen. She did not say, oh, no. She just laughed. She didn't say yay
Pretty
or
sure there
nay.
was a no in there.
No, there was not. I remember. She was like, and kept walking. Because you know how that line works when you're getting your food. Just quick. They chop it up, throwing the thing, you're done. So I was still getting my food, and I ran up behind her because she's walking away. She had no intention of having a conversation with me at all. First time I asked for numbers, she was just like, that was it. It was, and didn't even look back at me. I was like, oh, wait a minute. But again, fellas, I was on a hot streak. I was not taking no. I said, you know what? I can find a way in this. Was it then that I said the funny line, or was it after that?
No, there was one more time, and then you said the funny line.
So I kept trying to finagle it. Now, mind you, at this point, I'm walking her back to her job. I have no idea where Ann Taylor is in the mall, but it could be in 5 seconds. So I'm thinking, all right, I need my best lines. Like, now, it's go time, bro. I'm not going to pull this. Kept trying, couldn't get it. And then I thought, and this is where the cockiness and the conceitedness just oozed out. I was like, first off, I'm looking at myself. I'm thinking of how I look right now. I got nice pair of slacks, nice polo red sweater on, had a little tie on. I was looking good. Just good. So when she kept telling me no, I was like, why? It ain't like I'm not cute. She didn't say yes and give me the number, but she kind of laughed. And I said, I
was like, who says that? Like, who in their right mind says that when you trying to talk to somebody? I know it ain't because who are you?
The supreme confident gentleman that I am. I was like, I'm going to figure this out. When she did that little, that real laugh, not the like, I'm just pacifying you laugh. I was like, okay, all right. So I dug a little bit deeper. Found out she was a student. It was a wrap. Why was it a wrap? You want to tell the people why?
So at the time, I was majoring in actuary science, which is, all the insurance people, what it is.
Mathematics, probability type stuff.
Yeah. So, you calculate probability and stuff. You usually work at insurance companies. You find all the numbers so that you can figure out how much and if you should end up lending to somebody. Insuring somebody.
Right. Now, the thing is, most people hear actuary science and have no idea what it is. Luckily, shout out my homeboy. Well, not my homeboy. No
Feels
more,
like a part of Slumdog Millionaire. Was like, how did you know?
But the actuary science, I was familiar with. My boy took it in school. So when she said it, she almost said it like, why she don't know what it is. And he's going to just be like, oh, that's cool. Do you watch TV or something like that? I went right in it. I was like, oh, actuary science. Boom, 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 boom.
So I was taken aback.
Now I'm in there. Now I'm in there.
Oh, he's a little smart. Okay.
Got her. When that happened, again, it was started with the laugh. Then it was, my major? Oh. So then I realized, all right, team, huddle up. We now understand this is going to be an intellectual mission. Talk school, talk politics. We got this.
And then he was like, I was like, so what do you do? Because he's obviously dressed up. And he's like, oh, I'm in grad school, but I work at a car dealership, actually coming from work. And I was like,
so I got a good job and I'm a grad student? I'm smart. Mm-hmm.
I want to say that, no, that is exactly what it was.
I'm telling you guys.
That's exactly what it was.
I think, and that's, I think that was a turning point when now the conversation began to be more like, oh, well, what are you taking? I'm getting my MBA. Ooh, not art history. Ooh, an MBA. Something with some practical use. Ooh, yeah. I'm sorry if you're an art history major and you got to go into grad school for that. That's not a good idea. But anyways, the point is, we got to talking, and now she opened up. And it's funny. The last thing, the straw that got her, was my political preference.
No, that happened later.
That was that day.
No, it happened later. We spoke about it on the phone.
Okay. Well, what was it then? You tell me. I mean, I want to hear her tell you how she got.
No,
smitten.
we just kept talking, and it was an easy conversation. And I remember, like, we spoke up until you pretty much walked me back.
This. No, I dropped the Obama thing then.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
No, you didn't. We had that conversation on the phone.
I don't think she's right about this. What happened was the last thing that happened when we were walking is we talked about a little bit of politics. I preferred initially that Hillary would have won. And most people didn't prefer that. Most people were like, well, I want Obama to win. I kind of liked Hillary because I thought her husband would have, be in her ear and whatnot, helping her out. Either way, long story short, I had preferred Hillary, and her being the strong feminist woman that she is, she was just like, oh, you didn't even want to go with the most obvious choice everybody was pushing? Oh, you a free thinker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I am. Can I have your number now? Okay.
No. You're leaving out parts.
What parts did I leave out? Well, tell me.
So when we got back to Ann Taylor, mind you, like the food court was on like the top floor. So you got to go all the way down to the bottom to go to Ann Taylor.
It was a long walk. I had time. I didn't realize it. I was pushing like it was going to be the next door.
So we were talking for like a while. And so he's like, so when should I call you? So then I was like, okay, you can call me on Sunday. And I believe it was like either Friday or Saturday.
It was Saturday, actually.
I think it was either Friday or Saturday. I was like, you can call me on Sunday night. And he was like, okay, I'll make sure I call you. And was like, did this kiddish grin. And I don't know how to explain it. It was like, I don't know, like when you get like a piece of cake, like I don't know how to describe it. The grin was just like, it almost looked like he was innocent. Almost. And I don't know what it was.
It is a hard look to perfect, fellas. So when you can perfect it, cherry on top.
But he did promptly call me on Sunday.
Yeah, I did. It's funny. I think back to that story, and it feels like it was yesterday.
Really? I don't know.
It feels like it just happened. So much has happened since then. But
so much has happened.
So that is the beginnings of what's become and blossomed into this magnificent marriage and just empire we're building together.
Don't be a lame person.
That's a little lame. But no, that is how we began. And I think what helped us, which is why I think, bringing it to present day, when we first met and first began hanging out, we hung out a lot initially. And it was a lot of just at the crib. I was a grad student. She was obviously an undergrad, but still a student as well. And so there was a lot of, we're spending a lot of money. We're not going out to restaurants. We don't have a lot of other distractions. We did stuff. We did stuff, but there was a good portion of what we did was just hanging out in each other's space. Literally where her dorm was, she had like an apartment on campus or just off campus. And where I was living at, I was living at home at the time, was 3 minutes away, 4 minutes away. I mean, it was super close. So we got to see each other a lot early and often. And I think just having that time, and getting used to each other, each other's quirks.
Girls, it's love when he brings his PlayStation and leaves it at your place.
I was there all the time, so there was no.
It's love.
That's a fact, because it was at that point that was one of the crossroads I had to reach. But I was just like, when she falls asleep, what do I do? I just, they got that, on campus cable that has 7 channels. So I'm
it's
just
not
like
7. We had good cable.
It wasn't like what I had at home. I didn't have all the HBO and all the stars and all of that stuff. So I was
we had a movie channel. I think we had one HBO channel.
Right, exactly. It's like 8 HBO channels. We had one of them, but I was just like, I'm here all the time, and I'm just like, whatever, let's do it. So it was nice. But I think it prepared us for what's going on now because we spent so much time together. We did stuff and we went out to an extent, but we didn't have the money or the means that we have now. So we weren't going out all the time. A lot of takeout, a lot of hanging out at the house, a lot of watching movies, which we love to do to this day.
But I didn't have a meal plan at the time, so I was like buying groceries.
Yeah.
So,
but a lot of it was just we're at the house. We cooked a lot around each other. So I think
which he like lured me in with, and let me drop this little real quick.
Video
he
coming
made
soon
for
on
me
the cooking. We'll drop something.
Crab cakes from scratch.
I mean, is there any other way to make crab cakes? I'm just saying. Yeah.
I've never made them, so he made me crab cakes.
Was that the first time you had crab cakes?
No, not the first time I had them, but the first time I've had them from scratch, made in my home.
Probably the best crab cakes he's ever had.
And then he never made them again until this year.
Listen, fellas.
It was a ploy.
Listen, fellas, do what you...
To reel me in, to capture me. I was right when I said capture.
Captivate. Lead with your best foot forward. I brought out all the stops. And I thought, you know what? Again, when it went from being like, you wanting the bag, and I went to being like that to being like, no, you're who I'm committing to. Lead your best foot forward. It worked. She complained that I didn't make it any other times. But we're married, so it worked. It's hard to be like it didn't work. You always complain about that. You never made him again. I gotta have something for you to look forward to.
How far are we gonna look forward?
And here we are. Quarantine, should have had crab cakes, and they're just as good as that day. See, fellas. Always have a plan. Have a long-term strategy.
It's the long con is what that sounds like.
Not the long con. She got them. Either way. This is not a food podcast. You're getting crab cakes. You always bring up food. Anyways, that is the beginning of the Lub Dub Black Love that we hold so dear. So hopefully that was entertaining. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. It is quarantine. You have to social distance and all of that shit. But hopefully you can find that person that you can create your love story with. Create that black love story with, or other love. It doesn't have to be just black love, but any love. And hopefully you can avoid, if you are together, the pitfalls that seemingly are coming every other day with people, whether they're celebrities, maybe somebody that you know. A lot of couples are going through this time and are not doing so well. So we hope that the couples that are in strife are able to figure it out, and those that have talked about divorce can avoid it, because obviously we want to cheer and root for all black love and all love in any forms. So we want you guys to make it, or find it, to keep it together and make it.
Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. Please come back next week for another one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and always make a comment below.
Yeah, guys, we need more comments. Just want to hear what you guys are thinking. So drop those comments below, and we'll see you on the next one. Later.
Bye.